Genesis is about ready to grow up and go to college. They're leaving home. They're leaving their Hyundai dealerships and foraying out into their own. And this is exactly what they need to become the respective luxury brand that they need to be in order to have a fighting chance against the luxury competition out there. Genesis pushes into EVs, meaning dealers have to build stores. If you're new to the channel, my name is Kirk. I talk about Japanese and Korean cars. If you're into Genesis and are excited about what they're doing in the market right now, make sure to subscribe because I will give you guys the latest on Genesis. We're over at Automotive News. Genesis is adopting an aggressive timeline within the Hyundai Motor Group for the transition to electric vehicles. We know that if you watched my video this past week talking about how Kia especially is being extremely aggressive with electrification, make sure to check that out. But Genesis dealers who are now building the first standalone stores for the young brand that's here in America, they have standalone stores in other parts of the world already, but here in America, they're still living with the parents, aka Hyundai, and they're preparing these new facilities with EVs in mind. Now, Genesis is having an EV year here in 2022. They have the GV60 coming out, which is the Genesis version of like the Ioniq 5 and Kia EV6. There's nothing wrong with that because those are already excellent electric vehicles. Genesis is just going to take to the next level when it comes to build quality and material quality on the inside. Maybe better sound systems too. Lexicon's pretty decent. You're also going to have an electrified version of the G80. The large sedan, not the largest, that's the G90, of course. So that is already available, and the GV60 are already available in Korea. And by the end of the year, in parts of the world, I don't know if it's going to be here in the United States, but you're going to have an electrified version of their GV70, their best-selling vehicle, at least here in the United States. The two-row compact crossover, that market is just super, super hot. We also got a special edition of the GV80 we need to talk about, but let's get through this article first, talking about transition to a fully independent luxury brand. By 2025, Genesis will no longer launch any new internal combustion engine models, but they will continue to sell the ones it has by the cutoff date. That's really, really good to hear. I was concerned that by 2025, they would just stop selling all their internal combustion engine cars, but that will go on till 2030. And then after 2030, all ICE cars will be done within the Genesis lineup. It's hard to say with Lexus. I think Lexus is taking an even more conservative approach. I think they are obviously unveiling the RZ this year, but they'll have electric vehicles coming out. And then 2030 will be the last year of them introducing new gas models. And they'll continue to sell those gas models, maybe diesel models of the LX and GX, depending where you're at in the world. Well past 2030, they just won't introduce new versions of them unless they're fully electric. And we need to have decades more of battery technology development in order for those huge off-roading crossovers to be battery electric. We also need new and greener and more sustainable methods of producing electricity. Anyways, dealers who have been selling Genesis vehicles out of their Hyundai stores for the past 6 years will have to start planning for exclusive Genesis dealerships in order to receive the benefits of the automaker's Keystone Facilities plan. All of the dealers have been given the blueprint not only for the charging infrastructure that the dealers will require as they build their Genesis exclusive facilities, but we've been given a future-proof document and design of how to expand that EV charging infrastructure both inside the facility and on the property as we transition more models post-2025. They need to have those standalone dealerships so fast, so soon, and that would really help their brand just skyrocket here in the United States. Their sedans would sell better, their EVs would sell better, and of course, their crossovers would sell better. Speaking of crossovers, the 2022 Genesis GV80 adds 4-seat Prestige Signature trim. They were over at Car and Driver for this. This is starting at $78,000. This thing looks sick as hell. The wheels and the matte black paint color just looks awesome. This looks like something Batman would be driving, but I haven't seen the new Batman movie and I don't know who the vehicle sponsor is of that movie. These wheels are 22s, and this is a brand new trim called Prestige Signature. 4-seater, like the LX600 Ultra Luxury, with a second row captain's chairs that are heated, cooled, and power adjustable. Only 600 units are coming to the US. This model costs nearly 80 grand. It costs $4,500 more than the loaded 3.5 turbo Prestige. The rear should look very similar to this model right here. I love the quilted leather seats. We should have TV screens on the back of the seats as well in this Korean model here. There are two color combinations, matte gray. I mean, looking at this looks black to me, but it's also a dim lighting. But anyways, then you get matte gray with a black interior or matte white with a blue and beige interior. Oh my gosh, both of them sound really good. So would you take the GV80 four-seater ultra luxury, well, they call it Prestige Signature. Would you take the Prestige Signature GV80 with the matte black paint over the $127,000 or so Lexus LX ultra luxury? I mean, no, you don't have the ottoman in this vehicle, so maybe the ottoman's worth the extra $30,000 or so. You're also not going to have the vents built into the ceiling the same way as a Lexus LX. You could save 30 grand and have a very similar experience here. Future Kirk coming to you. I stumbled upon this while I was editing the video for today, and let's talk about what's going on. So in UK, you can pre-order the GV60 fully electric vehicle, and we're going to talk about the trim levels because more than likely these are the same trim levels that are coming here stateside. We're getting the base single motor rear wheel drive 226 horsepower and 321 miles. Now that's WLTP. WLTP, you divide by this and gives you the miles here stateside. So the rear wheel drive model will be around 280 miles of range. Now there's a sport model with the 314 horsepower. This is the dual motor that we see on the top of the line, let's say Ioniq 5, for example. It has 292 miles. So 292 divided by 1.14 gives us 256 miles of range on the all-wheel drive model, but it doesn't stop there because there's a GV60 Sport Plus. My gosh, this thing is taking... This thing has 483 horsepower. I think this is the exact same setup as the EV6 GT from Kia. Of course, dual motor as well, 180 kilowatts on both axles. And we're going to look at the miles here, 289 divided by 1.14 and 253, which is about the same miles as what we have here. Okay, so we're going to have about the same range whether you get the 300 horsepower, which is plenty. Like I always say, 300 horsepower is plenty enough for the streets, especially if it's electrified because it's instant. But if you just want to be a complete hooligan in your Genesis GV60 and have nearly 500 horse of instant power, you can have it. And that's what a luxury car should provide. A luxury car should provide you performance as well as incredible exterior and interior quality and amenities. The GV60's pricing starts at 47,000 British pounds. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's going to start around $45,000 here stateside. And it tops out at 65,000 pounds, which again, I'm going to say it's probably going to be around $65,000 here stateside for the nearly 500 horsepower Sport Plus model. Stay tuned because I will update you guys on American pricing when we get it. The middle all-wheel drive trim with around 300 horse comes around 53,000 British pounds, maybe around 50 to 55,000 US dollars when it comes here. Anyways, let's go to Kirk in the past to finish up this video. And if you missed my Infiniti video from earlier, I talked about how Genesis has been nabbing employees from Infiniti because Infiniti seems to be a sinking ship and Genesis is a quick growing luxury brand with lots of excitement, lots of new product, lots of EVs, everything that Infiniti is not doing right now. And Genesis is hiring Wendy Orthman from Infiniti. She's been with Nissan for over 8 years. To me, it's all because Claudia Marquez. They worked together at Nissan for a long time, and she is now COO of Genesis, replacing Mark Del Russo. So she brings in a marketing expert like Wendy Orthman from Infiniti. She knows well, she has a good relationship with her, brings her in to make Genesis an even stronger brand. Women love luxury crossovers. I would say the biggest demographic of luxury crossovers would be women, and having two strong and professional women at the top of the Genesis management would make the brand even more strong here in North America. If we look at the sales per year for Genesis, it's been kind of like this roller coaster up and down ever since they became a full-fledged brand in 2016. And here in 2021, last year in 2021, they had two crossovers on the market, GV70, GV80. Look at their sales, 50,000 sales if you round up. That is a huge jump. Infiniti, in comparison, who's been on the market, I don't know, since 1989 here in the United States, has been just free falling, sold 58,000. And then you have Genesis just around for 5 years or so as a full-fledged brand, catching up to them. They're less than 10,000 units away from surpassing Infiniti. They have a stronger product mix. They have better sedans, new technology. They have EVs coming this year, GV60, GV70, and G80 fully electrified. I don't know if the G80 electric sedan is coming stateside. Infiniti getting past, I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to go out on a limb. We'll see by the end of 22, but I'm going to say Genesis will outsell Infiniti here in 2022. Don't know if that's going to stay the same forever, but it looks like Genesis is here to stay as a top luxury brand to compete against Lexus, Infiniti, Acura from the Asian side of things, but also BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Audi, etc. Tesla has in fact just beat out BMW for the most registrations for a luxury brand, but it depends on who you think is a luxury brand. I don't think Tesla is a luxury brand at all. I think they are a mass market EV brand, and EVs are just really expensive. So just because a car is expensive doesn't mean it's luxury. Anyways, guys, I just had to throw that in there as we're talking about luxury car sales. Genesis is tearing it up. They continue to sell well with a full lineup of sedans, crossovers. They just need to bring that coupe concept into fruition, need to have those EVs on the market as soon as possible, which is happening this year. Pretty exciting stuff. Anyways, I got to end the video there. If you enjoyed today's video, smash the like button. If you're not subscribed, love to have you on board as we get to 150,000 subscribers together. I'll catch you in the next one, and peace out.